Civil AccuDraw, distance and direction option. That is this option right here in your Civil AccuDraw box. To utilize that, of course, we can use any Microstation tool, but what I'm going to demonstrate it with is the line between points using the horizontal geometry task. And once I move out here, you'll see that in my prompt it gives me a distance and a direction from where my start point is. I'm just going to dynamically start my point of beginning, so I'll left click to start it. Now as I move across, I can put in a distance of that line. Let's say our line is 1,200 feet. So you'll see that right now, if I hit my tab key, I can tab down to my other fields. That's what the tab key will allow you to do. I'll make sure it's set to my distance, my top distance, and I'll type in 1,200. I'll hit enter to lock that value in. Now I give it a direction of where I want to go. So let's say my direction is north 75 degrees east. So that's all I would need to type in is north 75 east. Hit enter to lock that in. And now you'll see that my values are locked in. I'll left click to place it, and I'm finished. So that's what the distance and direction option will allow you to do. Or I can do it a little bit differently this time. I'll come in here and I'll left click to start my line, and I'll just do 1,000 this time. So it's set to my distance right now. I'll type in 1,000, and now in my direction I'll type in north 79. This time I'm going to put in a direction with degrees, minutes, and seconds. So this time I'll type in 79 for my degrees. I will use a colon to break out between my degrees, my minutes, and my seconds. So I typed in 79 colon 35 minutes, and then I'll put in another colon if I had seconds put in there also. So let's say my seconds is 16. And then I'll define what direction that I'm going, whether it's east or west. So in this example here, I'm just going to use east. I'll hit enter to lock it in, and then I'll left click place that line accordingly. So whenever you're putting in your direction, make sure whenever you break it out, you can either put in a colon beside that to break those out, but then there's some other options that you can do also. But the colon is probably the easiest to break it out between degrees, minutes, and seconds. That's one example using the distance and direction just to place a horizontal line. I could use my standard Microstation line too if I need to do that. That'll work just fine. Or let's say I need to place a point or maybe a cell. We could use this option also. So I'll come in here and use my point. I'll use my land corner point right here. First thing that you need to define though is your origin point that you want to go from. And you'll notice that the point right now is going off the last point that was placed out there, or the last line or the element that was placed. If I need to redefine my origin point, what I would do is on my keyboard hit the letter O, and you'll see on the end of your cursor now it'll say select a reference point or reset to keep currently selected one. I'm going to redefine my origin point or my reference point, and I'm going to use this as my reference point right here. So what I would need to do is snap to the end of that line. And once you see that yellow X, since I have my AccuSnap turned on and my key point snap selected, I'm going to snap to the end of that point. And now you'll notice that my compass is going from that point now. So that's what the O key allows you to do. It allows you to select a reference element or a reference point to go off of. So now we just come in here and simply type in your distance and direction from that point. So now if I type in 450, let's say that's my distance, and my direction, let's say it's north 60 degrees east. So I'll type in 60, E for east, hit the enter key to lock it in, and now you'll notice as I move my mouse around, it locks it to that direction and distance that I typed in. So now if I left click to accept it, it places that point accordingly. So that's what the distance and direction option in your Civil AccuDraw allows you to do.